Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is Saturday morning, January the 11th. Whew! Your college football championship has been set. It's not USC. It's not Colorado. It's not Alabama. It's not Georgia. It's Ohio State and Notre Dame. Ooh-wee. Whoever thought it? This is a special college football show where we're going to invite people in if they want to come in, because there was a whole bunch of mess talked. There's a whole bunch of mess talk, whole bunch of stuff brought up. So for about the next hour, we're going to have people in, and the link is in the chat. You want to come on in here, let's fuss about it, let's talk about it. I think I've got a guest already, somebody that's waiting already. Let me make sure I go ahead and add them to the stage here so they can come on in. All right, that's Ron.
What's up, John?
What's going on, Ron?
Down go Texas. Down go Texas.
Yeah, Texas is out of it. And
shout out to Antonio.
Yeah, I see Tonio saying there's no SEC team in the championship this year. And hey, no, there's not. No, there's not. And I guess the 20-foot view is the fact that the transfer portal has missed and just thrown everything into disarray. Matter of fact, I just saw a couple of days ago that Georgia's former starting quarterback, Carson Beck, entered the transfer portal to try to get his face back. Trying to get his face back by going to the Miami team. I wish you the best of luck on that one there, boss.
You know what, John?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is not meant to play in the SEC.
No.
Everybody not tough enough to play in the SEC.
True.
If you understand where I'm trying to get to, everybody not built to play in the SEC.
Yeah. Missouri, I remember when Missouri joined, they found it to be a lot harder because I hadn't heard a peep out of Missouri ever since they joined the SEC.
So what I'm trying to say Georgia Bulldogs is a different monster. If you don't got that dog in you, you don't need to be on this team. Straight up. And to me, Carson Beck, what I seen this past season, he did not have that dog in him. He didn't. I felt like he left a lot of points on the board. And I seen one day he went to the sideline after throwing a pick and was laughing about it on the sideline. And I'm like, why the man laughing and you just threw a pick?
And no, that ain't a good look for me. That's not a good look for me. And
And
before I get started, I see someone at the bottom of my screen that's looking for somebody, and it's probably the same person you looking for, Ron. And that's on C-Dub. What's going on, C-Dub?
Hey guys, look, we don't need to put that man's face on a milk carton. Just put it on some liquor bottles. I guarantee we'll find them because they celebrate losses, and this is one of those big losses that they're celebrating. They're like in Texas drinking up, and they're all like crying over Bebo because he got slaughtered by Ohio State. Anyway, who cares about that? What's up, guys? How y'all doing? I heard that Napoleon Dynamite and his goofy ass is going to Miami. Now, look, if you thought that he struggled in Georgia, what makes you think Mr. Lamborghini Man, who's going to go to Miami, is going to have any focus whatsoever?
Not down at South Beach, he's not.
No. You want to talk about distractions, bruh? There are a whole lot of distractions. I mean, Mr. Acho could probably tell him about a couple of distractions. Mm-hmm. But anyway, yeah, man.
But they gonna pay him $4 million. Of what I'm understanding.
Really? Well, I hope they save the receipt because he ain't gonna. It's gonna be pretty embarrassing when he gets benched for nobody.
But the real reason came out today why he transferred to Miami because of his girlfriend. That's why he left Georgia because of his girlfriend. She with the Miami Hurricanes.
Lord have mercy. See, well, Ron, it goes right back to what you just said. Some people not built to play in the SEC.
No. He's not built for the SEC. Quite honestly, it was pressure. And look, let's give him a little bit of credit because I don't give flowers. Well, number one, I'm a guy. I ain't giving another guy flowers. That's just ain't my job. But I will give credit, with what he did with Georgia. But here's what I'm going to say. A lot of that mess was usually done because he wasn't showing up in the first half. You ain't going to have that defense in Miami. And the other thing is, it's like this, guys. College football is about to become as competitive, or I won't say as competitive as the NFL, but it makes the transfer portal become free agency. And your draft is the recruiting. So it just depends on how you work it, how you shuffle it. But I will tell you guys, I've watched some of these games. I don't know about y'all. I like the tournament setup. I mean, I know people were crapping on it in the first round, but honestly, and yeah, our team lost, but I like how it's set up. I think it was pretty legit. I didn't see nothing wrong with it. What was y'all's thoughts about it? Because I mean, I haven't really heard anyone talk about it.
I like the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think
somebody getting a call.
Yeah, I think that might be Ron. You need to tell Jory Taylor not to call you at this time, man. Luckily your wife wasn't around.
My bad.
Is that who is that? That Winston?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Is that Terry or Dennis?
Yeah.
Or Dennis. All right. Yeah. Give him the link. Tell him to come on over. I mean,
No,
he talks football.
they were my two cousins.
Oh, okay.
But
okay.
Ron likes to call.
I like the tournament. I think about time that some more teams came to join the tournament. I mean, they did that thing this year in college. But I got to say this. Texas, how you do so good all year. And that's how you get beat.
Hold on. I have an idea. I have a theory, and maybe Antonio will back me too. Maybe Texas is allergic to red, black, and silver. Just saying, because those are the only teams that beat them.
It did to me. You do good all year. You had the whole world talking about you. And you got beat by Georgia twice. You lost today to the Buckeyes. That they had their head coach on the hot seat. They told him if he lost one game, he would have got fired. And now we cannot even find coach again for 2 weeks. So what?
Anyone got a picture of coach?
Now to be fair, Coach, he was on the show Wednesday night with me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. He was on the Wednesday night show.
I was there.
And we didn't really, we really barely touched on college because we were still about that stupidity that was going on Sunday. Now, I wanna address something that C-Dub brought up about the tournament, in my opinion. The tournament is fairer than the AP poll, the UPI, and this what was it prior to the playoff? It was something.
Yeah. They had so many different names, but honestly, I'm with you, John. The tournament is fair because you're basically giving teams a chance.
Now the other part about this, there is no way. BCS, okay.
There you go. Thank you, guys.
There is no realistic way that you can have a playoff system like the NFL because there are just too many damn teams. Too many teams.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to be voting, if you're going to be, because that's what it boils down to, someone's opinion of what it was that you did, because there was still a lot of fuss prior to the selection. When the polls started coming out, okay, they started having CFP polls starting to come out. Okay, what's your ranking?
Yeah.
All right. After those polls came, then it came time to select tournament participants.
Mm-hmm.
There are some teams that are penalized for being in the conference, and some teams that are penalized for not being in the conference. So, it being fairer than what it was, I guess everybody's just going to have to get used to the fact that it's not going to be like the NFL. That's what people are going to have to get used to. It's not going to be like the NFL. We're not going to be able to say cut and dry because of the head-to-head. Okay, I put you up against this team, you beat them. Because college football would last all the way around to when college football would start. In order to weed out all, to do the actual head-to-head competition to get to the national championship.
Yeah, there ain't no way you. Oh, go ahead, Ron. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
go ahead, Ron.
If you handle your business through the whole year and the playoffs, it should not even matter, right?
Well, Ron, what John's talking about, he's talking about the other teams. He's not just saying about remove our favorite team out of the way. Because that's like plain simple. That's like the easy thing to talk about. It's like we all know if Georgia takes care of their business, they should be in. Or if Alabama takes care of their business, they should be in. If Florida you see what I'm saying? So you can say that for every team. So really, then what it comes down to is in your key games where maybe you could sneak it. Look, let's be honest. Georgia sneaked in after that loss to Ole Miss.
Right.
We got into the SEC championship. I guarantee you, if we would have lost, Alabama would have been in the tournament. But because Georgia beat Texas, we were the SEC champ. Right. So I'm just saying, man. I'm not even being mad about it. I'm just saying, to be honest, it's like I actually, in my head, thought that's fair because your gift. Like now, Georgia didn't lose to Ole Miss, then yeah, both teams should go into the tournament. But that's not how it broke down. Right. So yeah, man. I mean, look. Like I said, I think the tournament has actually brought out the best, and hey, it showed you. And you know what I liked? All the teams that got a bye lost. So that told you can't rely on that. So, work together. Now you can pivot, see where it goes, and then you can work from there. I think this was a good first time doing this. And I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of rooting for Notre Dame because I don't want Ohio State to win the first ever. When they went to 4 teams, they won the first one. Wow. They went to this tournament, they could win this one. So I'm kind of like, let's not push that one.
Go ahead, Ron. Go ahead.
I am so glad Bama did not get in there. When I found out Bama did not get in, boy, I was dancing like in 1999. I was like, thank you, guys. They don't deserve it. I don't give a damn. They did not deserve to get in there. And for once, my prayers were answered. I was like, thank you, God. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was kind of like Duke in basketball.
Yeah.
In college basketball. But now to make my point a little bit better.
Yeah, no, you good, John. Go ahead.
Wait until college basketball when you have 64 teams trying to get down.
Hold on. I don't think you could do 64 teams in the NCAA football, man.
No. But see, that's the point. That's the point.
Yeah.
Because if you got 64 basketball teams,
mm-hmm.
I know you got at least 64 pro football teams.
Yeah. No, I know there is, and I also know that like the bowl games they're still doing. It's like this. I'm cool with the way they did it. I think they did this great. That's why I'm like, keep it at 12. Keep the way you have it for the first round.
Isn't it going to 16 next year?
No, it says 12. No, there's no 16.
I thought they were going to 16.
No. They're trying. They want to try to keep this format for a little bit.
Okay. Now, because last year, Florida State or who had an undefeated season?
Florida State. Because remember, it was Travis Jordan, and then he got hurt, and then the backup got hurt.
See, I thought they should have got in last year. That's what I thought. And I wanted them to get in last year. You went undefeated all year.
Go ahead.
When your quarterback got hurt, it was not the same no more. When half of your players were getting ready for the draft, that's why they lost. Now, if you put that whole team together, in the playoffs, I think they could have done some damage last year. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Because they were clicking on every point. They were clicking. They were like the Army last year. They was
Yeah, they were look. I'm not gonna say they were clicking that well, Ron, because I remember watching those games. They were good. They couldn't get over that. It's like they were winning games,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't. Not all the games were dominant. And then when they lost their guy, their second string played well, but then he got hurt the next game. So I understood why they didn't. And not only that, they had a very weak schedule. I remembered that because that's of all the teams. Remember, there was a lot of teams also undefeated. And they just kept looking at Florida State. And when that happened, it was like, man, that's going to be tough. But I hear you, but I'm just saying, man, I think for this tournament, I think they did a good job. They picked the right teams. And we got a final, which is going to be fun to watch, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And let me see, what is it? 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Boy. Well, at least they both have a bye week. And
no layoff though.
But they both have it though. It's not just one.
They're both going to be rusty, like Winston said a couple months ago, or when Georgia played, we were rusty.
We were rusty, but we also had a quarterback that we were putting in because you remember Gunner didn't play much in the regular season.
But it's hard to play a game, then shut down for a whole week, then pick right back up. It's hard to restart. And they got 2 weeks.
I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's that bad.
It's even because both teams have 2 weeks. And if you remember, even in baseball, when the Braves had to bye and came back, they were rusty. So, I mean, man, I don't know. I don't know whether the bye week is a blessing or a curse.
All right, hold on, guys. Time out. They're actually saying 9 days in the comments.
Okay.
So it's not a full 2 weeks. So, that actually evens out then. You're going to give them a full week, but then, within those next days, they're prepared for a game. So, so it will not be like a super rusty affair. I think it's like this. Let's see it. If they're rusty in the championship game, then guess what? My hat's off to you guys. I'll tip it going, y'all were right. But I'm just saying, I don't think so because of the fact that this was the first time and they didn't want the playoff to linger as long as the NFL playoffs did.
Right.
So, and that's why, they started the way they did. And I like it that way. So, yeah, I like, personally, I like Notre Dame. I really do. I like their defense. I like their running game, and those things travel.
Yeah.
If you're an old school fan, that's something you enjoy.
Right. I just want to see a good college.
Now the only thing with Notre Dame that I heard during the broadcast was their offensive line. They've got some offensive line issues that they are trying to get some people healthy, and that may that definitely will factor in.
I mean, they played well against our defense. That's all I know, and they kept their quarterback clean.
Let me say this: on that right side, do he look like McGarry to y'all?
Man, no, he looks like Kappa from the Bengals. Stop it, Ron. Ron, as much as you like to throw McGarity under the bus, Kappa is the Triple Crown winner. You need to, tip your hat to that man. I know, Mr. Tap Dancer. Yeah, yeah. All of a sudden,
And
Gregory Hines over here wants to try to throw shade. I see what you do.
let's take a look at my friend Kool-Aid.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at what Kool-Aid has to say. He is saying he felt Florida State was done wrong. What do you guys have to say about that?
They were done wrong, and we did talk about that last
Yeah.
week.
I mean, y'all say they were done wrong. I personally, it's like this. It would have been a mercy killing because you saw how that team checked out after the thing. I don't know if they would have been. It's like this. It's going to be one of those what ifs that we'll never know. So again, you guys will probably be right, but me, I just look at it and I go, the week conference, the week schedule they had. I know they went undefeated, but everyone said, when that happened, it was like, well, we really don't want to. And I understood it. That don't mean I agreed with it, but I
Right.
understood it. And
Now,
me personally, yeah, go ahead, John.
now, how well did they do once they lost their quarterback?
They got blown out bad, and but I'm going to say this according to Ron because Ron also said something also true too, and I don't want that to be forgotten. A lot of their players did check out because they were getting ready for the NFL draft, and the others they were getting in that transfer portal.
Right.
So
they were like,
yeah,
y'all don't want to give us our props. We might
mm-hmm.
well don't go to the draft or other schools after our undefeated.
Yeah.
See,
So they came into their bowl game undefeated, but they got beat bad.
they got
And it
beat.
wasn't like
Okay.
Yeah,
You
but
have your starter
mhm.
quarterback, then the
I
backup.
know, and I know Verse didn't play at all, so that's the other thing.
And the D tackle, they got drafted by the Rams.
I remember the Four Horsemen. My dad told me about them, and I'm not talking about the wrestlers. My dad was a big Notre Dame fan. My dad, yeah, my dad was what was it? My dad, they called him a Subway Notre Dame alumni because back in the day when you were in New York, if you were riding the subway, you would also be listening to Notre Dame football, and you would actually become a fan that way. So, and I remember him telling me that, and I was like, "Oh, okay." So, I never picked up Notre Dame as a kid. I like Georgia, so.
My dad took me to Georgia games all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
I fell in love with Georgia. So
now,
and I agree with Ray. I mean, look, a lot of us agree. It's not like this is a debate. What was it? There were a lot of teams that had they were so close to being in that game, in the championship game. That's what was it? Remember Auburn? They were actually undefeated, and they weren't in, and they went with a rematch, and it was just crap. But Auburn was still undefeated, and so it's always happened to college football. That's why I'm actually happy that this year we're gonna, no matter what, we won't have to debate. Oh, was Oregon better than Georgia? It don't matter. Notre Dame, Ohio State, the last two, the winner of that is the champ. Done. That's it.
Yeah, well, man, it's kind of this particular time of year, when your NFL season ends and your college football season ends, and then the college football season ends, national championship. They're starting to ease in basketball. Basketball is starting to be, college basketball is starting to get eased in or whatever. And it's always this time of year that, the things that we were doing on Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays, now like tomorrow is going to be the NFL.
Yeah.
It's going to be the NFL. And, that's about to wind down. It's heading into a dead part of the year that
Mm-hmm.
I said, oh goodness, and in another couple of minutes, shoot, we
Well,
it's
I mean,
baseball
we
time.
hold on, John. We can also talk about our wonderful GM that decided to basically announce that he makes no decisions.
Now,
or we did talk about the draft. Who should
Yeah, the draft. But let's look. Nah. John, I want to know your take on that because I know you listen to these coaches. I know you listen to the GM. So I want to know your thoughts on our leadership because Jimmy Lake still has a job. So I would like to know what you think.
that interview yesterday, Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Where man, I tell you, I was totally nonplussed about that interview Thursday because one thing I'm trying to think if it was something that he said. It was about both Kirk Cousins and Coop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was about Kirk Cousins and Coop. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm still trying to, and I went back on the internet while he was talking because Tidy had a show about what was going on, and I did get on Ryan's show last night, and I said something about it. But Marcus did one
today for like 2 hours, and I kind of like what he said, but I wanted to hear what you had to say.
Well,
Go ahead.
I want to listen to Marcus's.
He gave us a shout out, by the way. He gave you a shout out. Well, because on his thing it says check out these following content creators: Bird Gang and Smitty, and they had eye tests, and they even had my name on there. I was like, oh wow. I was like, is that my name?
I am surprised.
I appreciate it.
John, you did not have your 2x4 nowhere around you. Man, Tevin Farno said, well, everything we don't we might do everything up for grabs.
Yeah, well, okay.
Huh?
You ain't hear that part?
I mean, I heard it, but the way you said it, I'm just going, I don't remember like that. I heard it more like, I remember him saying like everyone's still under evaluation. I'm going, how long is this fucking evaluation going to be?
What I mean, everything violation. So basically, everything up for grabs. Like we don't know who's going to get that.
By the way,
go ahead. That's what the problem was. But let me deal with these two things about Koo and Cousin, because, like I said, I searched the internet to try to find out the very first inkling that there was something wrong with Koo, and it was November 29th, where I saw that Koo might have injured himself playing in the Raiders game. Okay. Now, Steve brought out on his show that he noticed, and he called and we talked for a while also. He noticed that in the Raiders game, Koo was stretching prior to the game, and stretching in a manner where, you know how you'll get a kick somewhere, or you'll get a little hitch and you get along somewhere where you just get it out and
kind of like like a catch in your hamstring or something, or a pull or something. Yeah.
And it was downhill from there. All right, but he appeared on a middle of the week, report saying he's probable or something of that nature. But it wasn't. But he played, and when he played, he made one kick, and I think he missed one.
Yeah, right? I remember that. Yeah, I think that's the Giants game.
Yeah, and then next thing you know, Koo on the IR. Boom.
Yeah,
just like that.
But John, like me, we all been saying it go back to coaching. If I'm watching the game and I see Koo over here missing a 45-yard kick, me, man, Raheem, he should have said, you know what, y'all, after the game, let's see can we find a kicker. Let's see can we replace Cool with somebody.
You and see, Ron, now on that, Ron, and see, now that was my other part about this. You had Blankenship for Georgia. Just sitting there twiddling his thumb. And I was trying to find out the one that you signed. Mm-hmm. Okay, and it just came to me. Was he in training camp this year?
Blankenship? I think he was,
not Blankenship, the one we
he
signed.
Talk about the kicker we signed.
Patterson. I think so. I can't remember. I can't remember because I can't remember because Koo was kicking field goals because he missed a few field goals in the preseason.
Right.
And a lot of us were bringing that up. And the only reason I remember that, because when I went to that content creator thing, we were all kind of aggravated watching Koo missing field goals.
What?
Right. Okay. Now, also, so, all right. Well, let me go back to the kid.
Yeah. And
all right.
Well, that and also the Kirk Cousins.
This man. All right. This man. Why did you sign him? Because see, if we had won, look. We had Washington.
Yeah.
We had Washington. No matter what, okay, Penix was getting his sea legs up under him, trying to, can't figure out things because, he was thrown into a situation that he was thrown into. And
hey, he tied the game.
He got your game tied up and drove it down. And if it hadn't been for the crazy timeout situation, he would have been a little bit closer.
Yep.
Koo makes 56, 57-yard kicks.
Okay? Yeah.
Why can't my kicker that you replace him with do the same thing? Did you work him out to see what type of leg he had? Did you look and see what it was that he could do? Because when I was in that bar that Sunday night watching that game and I saw that kick go, I thought it was good. I thought the game was over with. Until I saw them do this.
Yeah, okay? Yeah.
So the kick was short. All right.
Yeah.
Now, and that's all kind of crazy stuff went through my mind because of the fact that, you sit up here and got someone with a dead leg. I'm just gonna say you just got a man with a dead leg. All right.
Yeah.
He kicked straight, but he got a dead leg.
Koo's replacement was worse than Koo. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that puzzled me. Then on top of that, the Kirk Cousins situation, because they asked Terry point blank, what was wrong with Koo? We were thinking he might be still nursing some injuries, blah, blah, blah. He said Cousins was healthy. All right. They stood, as the saying now goes, he stood on business about the fact that Kirk Cousins was healthy. All right. So now your evaluation week after week after week, when he started throwing all of these interceptions, when he started not being able to get the ball to the receivers, my question comes now, okay, offensive coordinator, your quarterback is falling off. Why have you not adjusted your playbook to try to help him? Because you didn't need Kirk Cousins throwing over 20-something yards, 25, 30 yards. You didn't need him doing that. So why didn't you adjust the playbook to where he could get rid of the ball 5, 10 yards and become a check down Charlie? Because a lot of games that we played, all you needed was a check down, Charlie, just to keep the team moving down the field.
Yeah,
the running game. That's all you needed to do.
Bijan and Tyler would have helped. Go ahead, Bob.
you got a running game. Yeah, Bijan ran for 170 doggone yards last week. All right, did well against Washington, which supposedly had a real good defense. Did well. All right, all you needed was a quarterback to throw the dogs off the scent, as it were.
Right.
Picky peck. Like Tom Brady did in the final part of his career. Tom Brady didn't have no 80-yard arm or 50-yard arm. When he played with Tampa Bay, it was pick and peck. All right, why didn't you adjust your offense to take advantage of that?
It go back to, I just say two things. These is first time OC, and this Raheem first time of being our head coach full time.
Where's my flag? I'm gonna pull that one out on you.
That's what I've been hearing.
I know, but hold on. That's what you're hearing. This is what C-Double hears. So you go ahead. I'll go ahead.
So this is what I've been hearing, and I would like Ray Charles to see that shit. So, come on now. Coach Cousins out here injured. But you do read people's body. John, if you call me and you be like, damn. I'll be like, what? What wrong, John? You see what I'm saying? Your body will say a lot of stuff. Your body language. What we talk. Your body tell everything. If you don't feel good that day, you be like, damn, I fucked up. And if you talk to me and you talk to me all the time and you know me, you be like, damn, man, you really fucked up. Well, you might not need to play. That means your head coach need to pay attention to $100 million quarterback. Let me know all week you have not been paying attention to Coach Cousins. Anybody will play, but your head coach tell who play every week. So that go back to Raheem. Raheem, you need to pay attention to your players.
Hold on.
Him and
go ahead.
And see, and this is where, like you said, Ron. All right, your assistant coaches, your position coaches. That's the job y'all supposed to be looking at. Right. That's what y'all supposed to be doing. And if that man is not 100%, if that man is not right, hey, you need to start sounding the alarm, pulling fire alarms and everything else, saying, hey, we got a problem. Right. Kurt is hurt. All right. Kurt is hurt. Okay. Can he play? Hey, Kurt, come on in. We got a concern. Your performance has been falling off. I mean, things. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Now, I got a comment from Corey Sherman here. He said Zach actually did scale the playbook down some for Kurt, but scaling the playbook down is not adjusting the playbook. Right.
Hold on. Go ahead.
The thing is about adjusting the playbook or scaling the playbook down. All of your pass patterns were still long.
Right.
All of your pass patterns were still long. What you need to do is adjust the playbook to where Kirk Cousins, if he doesn't see his first read, throw it away. Something like that. Even doing that. Okay. Even doing that. You know.
To what I just said, Raheem should pay attention.
All right, stop. I got to say it. I am sick of tired of hearing the word communicative or collaborative or we all discuss this. We have no one that says the decision is mine. I make the decision. We have that. We don't have that guy. Our GM is a middleman. I don't know if Arthur is doing the calls. I don't know if Raheem's doing the calls? If so, that should tell you that this franchise is in trouble. I'm also got to say it like this. Raheem saw Kirk Cousins. He saw Koo. And I will say this, and I have kept saying this. It's not about the expectations anymore. I'm looking at, you look at these games. There were games they did not look prepared. John has said it. By the way, John, you must have channeled your Jeff Dunham because what you said, Dan Orlovsky and Riddick Lewis were saying that against the Raiders about Kirk Cousins. That's not about, he's not the same guy. And the thing is this, whether it be the offense or Zach Robinson not, working the offense around Kurt, or it could be Kurt going, I can still throw this thing. And he's cut a line and he's throwing it to the other guys. All I know is this. There was somebody who won't want to take credit for it, looked at Raheem and said, you start Kirk Cousins one more time, you're in the unemployment line.
What?
Michael Penix is now in. The glass has been broken. He has to be on the bench.
Oh.
And he sounded downtrodden. And I got to go here. We were 1-2 under Michael Penix as the quarterback. But those 2 losses, he tied us the game, never got the ball back.
What?
Now, what I'm going to say is this. We have Terry Fontenot. Before the press conference, I told people he should not be fired. He got you the quarterback. But after what I heard with him and Ra, I'm going to go here. You better not start losing when you start. And I hope the players still are engaged with you guys, because if not, I can see this team just struggling in the first half of the season just to see if they can get rid of them all. Because when he was doing okay until he said, yeah, it's collaborative. We all discuss it. How are you you're the GM. You make the decisions. You're giving out contracts. Who's telling you to do everything? And nobody, it's secretive Fort Knox information. You can't get a straight answer with the Falcons.
What?
They are PC politician guys. And they're the worst because they can't ever back up anything either. Go ahead, John.
But
now, what I want you guys to do, if you have time, listen to the Jacksonville Jaguars press conference after they fired Peterson. You're going to get the same freaking thing. I said, oh my goodness. I thought we were the only ones that did this.
Hold on. What do they have in common?
Wait, huh?
Bo losing.
What do they have in common?
The Bo losing.
Yeah.
The Bo got bad quarterbacks.
No. You said it right first time. We're losing franchises.
Right.
We haven't been over 500 since 2017, and that's last I checked. My beard was black back then.
Yeah.
So, all I'm saying is this. You have Michael Penix and you have Trevor Lawrence. I get that. That's the only similarity, but the thing is this. The worst part about us, Jacksonville is bad. We're mid. We're like right there. We're not going to be really bad. We're not going to be really good. We're just right there. And everyone is okay with it. And that's the problem.
But it go back to what John just said.
When
we signed Kirk Cousins, how do we even know he was all the way healthy?
Hey,
at the beginning of the season. We don't.
Now, Ron, let me say this. See, we can, as far as that's concerned, we can only go by what those jokers say.
But
yeah,
I mean,
Ron,
hey,
you don't
I'm
give
sorry.
them. You don't. I'm with John.
That's all. That's all we got. That's all we got. So if we find out different later, I'm hanging my foot in they behind because you told me this man was helped.
But all right, I'm saying, what you to look healthy during practice preseason.
Okay.
You,
hey, Ron,
you're not getting hit like that in preseason.
But Ron, guess what? They didn't play in preseason. It's like this, Ron. They're going to come to you for an interview. How are you going to prove that they're healthy? You can't. You only got to take the word. And what I'm going to say is, now look, remember me and you talked about it, and I kept telling you, I wouldn't sign him because he got hurt this date, October 28th. I didn't see a full calendar year.
Right.
I kept saying you usually need a full year to get better.
Right.
So after that full year, then maybe. But I wasn't willing to sign him for the money people were saying. Then we signed him. That wasn't me. It didn't say C Double signed him. Right. It said the Falcons. Right. So, and let me tell you, do you think this is the first time Terry and Raheem got duped?
No.
Okay. So this should tell you something. This franchise, they are collaborative, meaning they're making all the mistakes together. What? AKA, if I go down, you go down with me. And that I don't like. We need somebody in our team to be the guy that goes, no, I'm making the decision. Like Marcus said, the moment you were done with Carolina, someone should have looked at Jimmy Lake, kicked him the hell out of the Mercedes-Benz, and tell him, don't you ever come back. And if Raheem says, hey, that's my defensive coordinator, be like, nope. But if you like him that much, you could go with him. Here's your box. We don't have that guy. Because what did Terry Fontenot say? He's a special person when talking about Raheem.
But once again, will you say that when you're back against the wall, when you're finna lose your job because people on your ass? You see what I'm saying, man? Mm-hmm. Because the press people were on him.
Yes, and Terry didn't look like his normal self. Right. But guess what? Hold on. And he looked shook, but can I tell you something? He still looked at them all and was like, Raheem's a special guy. So that should tell you he's a middle manager guy. He's not a GM. He's middle management. He is the assistant store manager. He's got some power, but has none.
So that's why I say what his name, who they say he not over the team no more. I think he got something to do with it.
I don't even, you know what, Ron? I don't even know. I don't know if it's Beatles. I don't know if it's Rich McKay.
Beatles,
no, I know Rich McKay. But what I'm saying is, if it's me, I'm cleaning house. And I would even throw Arthur out. But here's the problem. He's the owner, so that ain't happening. But someone's got to talk to that old buffoon and basically go, hey, are you just going to keep on losing?
Now
yeah, go ahead.
Something is about to happen because his son is starting to take more. I read something this week that the power is starting to shift from Arthur Blank as far as the day-to-day operations of the Falcons, or his fingerprint being on them. Because the succession plan, to help with taxes and all of that type of stuff. Because see, you remember, well, I guess you guys don't remember, but when Rankin Smith, when Taylor Smith turned over operations to Arthur Blank, when Arthur Blank bought the team. No, excuse me. I'm saying it wrong. When Rankin Smith passed, prior to Rankin Smith passing, Taylor Smith took over operation of the team. And
he was
for tax purposes and things of that sort, you have to divest yourself way early, or otherwise you're going to be saddled with that inheritance tax. And
Hold on.
whatever that is, that's way above my pay grade.
Yeah, he ran the Falcons like someone runs their coin purse.
Yeah, and on top of that, Rankin Smith nor Taylor Smith knew anything about football.
No.
Yeah, they didn't know anything about football.
That's my next question. Do Arthur Blank's son know anything about football?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, and does Arthur Smith? Hold on. Does Arthur Blank know anything about football? Because I'm going to tell you no.
No, Arthur Blank doesn't. And this is the thing about it. You got to hire people. You got to hire people that know a little bit about, the franchise football, and have a like the Rooneys.
No, I wouldn't say Maris, but we understand what you're saying. Yeah, the Rooneys are kind of or the Kraft. Or the Kraft. Yeah.
Who been in the business, can put their hands in the cement and make something out of it because they actually know what they're doing. And if you have people like that, those are the people you can go to because they either have connections all over the league or they know what it is that they know in order to make good decisions. That's why the Steelers haven't had but 3 head coaches.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. The Steelers ain't had but 3 head coaches.
Yep. And they ain't going to change unless they want to make it to change, and they ain't going to make it.
They not going in Walmart picking up stuff off the shelf every time you run out of this or run out of that, or either Big Lots or someplace. They know what they're doing.
Hey, Ryan.
And so I'd like to welcome Ryan.
What's up, brother?
What's up?
Ryan from the Birdcage LLC. He was supposed to be on with us Wednesday, but he's still working.
You got to remember. You got to hold on. You got to remember. Ryan was also celebrating that birthday, man. He was traveling. He was like he was more like a mayor. I saw him cutting a ribbon to open the building up. I saw them serving him like 5 golden platters. I was like, dang, man, Philly know how to take care of their people.
Hey John, I told you I had a couple of shots of Mexican toilet bowl water, that tequila or whatever. That's
and that will definitely do it. That will definitely do it.
That will humble you.
But here's the thing: you were talking about the Steelers or whatnot. You got to remember they were a doormat before Chuck Noll got there, and they had more than one. They've had more than 3 coaches in their franchise. But over the last 100 years. Let's just say this here. I'm sorry. We'll say over the last 50, 60 years or whatever, they've only had 3. You're right.
Yeah.
But they were a doormat. It took for them to bring in Chuck Noll to change that. And then you had, and I harp on this all the time. You have to have people in the scouting department that know what they're doing. Because they had one of the greatest scouts in NFL history, and a man named Bill Nunn. Bill Nunn is in the NFL Hall of Fame. I'm gonna give you this man, from the time he got to become a scout, he drafted Mean Joe Green, Hall of Famer. He drafted Mel Blount, Hall of Famer. Terry Bradshaw, Hall of Famer. Pretty much all those Hall of Famers that you see that played for the Steelers were all his guys. And here's the thing. Outside of just big time universities, he also scouted HBCUs, and I say this all the time: you got many diamonds through those pipelines. You just gotta know what you're looking for, and that is why the Steelers. And here's the thing: the Steelers are never gonna turn down a guy who can play and that comes to work. That's a Steeler guy. That's how that works. It's a culture. And like with us, we don't have a culture. Think about it, John. That stinking Rankin Smith messed us up. We actually had a chance to get Don Shula. A lot of people don't ever talk about that. Don Shula wanted to also be the GM and part of the draft management. He didn't want to give Don Shula that much power. That's why Shula went to the Dolphins. and the Dolphins were crap. And his first year there, he turned it around. So again, the Falcons being the Falcons, you've passed away great opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
And think about it, Don Shula not only was a player in the league, he also won with the Baltimore Colts. They just lost in that Super Bowl with Joe Namath. That was the biggest stain on his career until he went 17-0.
Mm-hmm.
So again, John, when are we gonna get some people that are in this front office that really understand football?
Or
That's
just
my
get a
question.
GM that will answer a question.
Or see, and I know Ryan.
Collaborative.
Now Ryan. Now I told you. Now you trying to get monetized, and there are certain things that I know that you can't say and can't allow to be said on your channel and on your outlet. But
I know where you're
at
going
this
with that.
particular point, I'm so far away from money. I say, look, y'all, hey man, if you got to say what you got to say, this is the forum to say.
I'm gonna go ahead. You know what? See, a lot of the fans of the Birdcage, they come through. They know we keep it real, but they don't ever. How can I put it? They don't ever get me to say anything. But you know what, John? I'm gonna do you a solid tonight. When the fuck we gonna get somebody in here that know what the hell they doing?
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm just gonna be honest. When are we gonna get somebody in here that's competent? That is competent. It's not about knowing the game, because you can know the game, but you're not competent in bringing pieces in that are going to affect the franchise, not just for a short term. You're looking to try to affect this franchise in the long term, so you can actually keep winning traditions going, or at least being competitive. We don't have that.
Nope.
Let me ask.
Go ahead, Ron.
Y'all something. Don't get me wrong. I like B. John Robertson. I do.
I know where he going with this one.
And me and you talk about this, Ryan, many a times.
Here we go. Go ahead and bury the man.
We don't get a player with attitude. We don't never get that player that, I will root you after the game.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. Did you look over? It's called your owner, because he was embarrassed from wheeling out Michael Vick like an idiot.
Right.
And he's like a broken, like Ryan said it many times, scorn lover. But the thing is, this fucking franchise, I swear.
Now this is the problem that I have had for many years with the Falcons.
Yeah.
So what Ryan was saying, when are we going to get somebody in here that knows what they're doing? When are we going to get somebody in here that's competent? When are we going to get somebody in here that will take charge, will, like C-Dub says, take responsibility, say that the buck stops with me.
Right.
Okay. So you almost had that with Bill Belichick. But what he was going to do,
he was going to get Rich McKay's ass right up out of here.
Yeah, and that would have been great.
That's my point. And see, like I was telling some people, matter of fact, I think I was talking to
it was
Ryan
me
show last night.
Yep, it was us.
Yep.
Yeah, about the credit that we're giving Terry Fontenot. Okay, now the credit that we give Terry Fontenot, there are a lot of people, and it's not just on Ryan's show that I heard this, but everybody, a lot of other people were saying that, okay, Terry Fontenot got us out of the salary cap problem. Well, the salary cap problem was going to be a generic situation that was just going to take place, because there are certain things that happen when you trade people, let people go, keep people, whatever, that the salary cap says you must pay part of this penalty in the available money that you have. Because
if your owner didn't try to screw your team over,
we didn't get this money until last year.
Okay,
yep.
John,
we
I
didn't
got
get this money till last year, and that was after those salary cap rules went away.
Can we recoup some of that money back for that pick that we lost from Kirk Cousins because of him opening his mouth?
No,
See,
gone.
Ron,
No,
you were trying to get that money back.
That
I want the pick back.
no, John. I'm gonna tell you this here. I want a little bit of that money back because we'd have a sit down and say, Kurt, you cost us a pick because you wanted to be the honest guy, and you pretty much put that out there. So guess what? I'm gonna need a third of your paycheck or whatever to recoup that money and that pick that we lost. I'm gonna need that.
And see, thing is that the contract that you signed with this man, okay, he's got a no trade clause. Okay, the man got a no trade clause, and you basically, I see Ron.
Well, not just Ron, me too. Yeah,
I mean, it's not that. Me, see, Doug and Terry were talking about this on.
Oh, Ron wants Kirk Cousins to give back money, but we all looked at him and like, they ain't gonna give back no money.
Hey.
The thing, because the only way to do it, if you did do it, like restructure the contract, you have to extend the contract.
Yep.
And honestly, and that's the only way. Now, the thing is, the best way to do this, if you really want to get rid of him, is you have to work with Kurt and find a team that wants him.
Man.
That Kurt wants to play with. And no, I know what you're going to say. Go ahead.
But the problem,
my OG just said he cost us that pick.
Yeah, guess who also cost? Hold on. Guess who also cost that pick? Your GM or your mid manager, because he's no GM.
It wasn't Terry that he was in. Wait a minute. It wasn't Terry that he was in touch with. It was somebody from the medical staff, if you remember.
Oh, I do. What I'm saying, hold on. What I'm saying is the middle management comment is because Terry goes, "Oh, we have discussions about what we do and who we." Basically, he was saying, "I don't do anything. I'm just the middle management."
But here's the
look between him and Raheem Morris, you can't get them to answer a direct question. They tap dance like Gregory Hines. All right. So look,
I like how you refurbished what I said on my show, because that was the first time I said that night you was on there and you died.
Yeah, well, I died laughing, but I was right with you because I said it before too. So because I'm always like, damn, these guys tap. Like, what was it? One time, we were watching a press conference and they kept on going.
I didn't him laugh that hard before because his face turned red, John, when I said that.
My favorite, but the funny part, we're listening to a press conference, and I had people watching it with me. And they're like, "How many times is he going to say that's a great question?" He always says, "Oh, that's a great question. That's a very good question. That's a great question." Says the name, and never answers the question.
Here's the problem.
Yeah, it's a good question for me to ignore.
But here's the thing: in the real world, you're not going to be able to talk to your boss any kind of way. Terry's this is his job. This is how he has to act. So everybody's sitting there saying that he's gonna have to go in there and pretty much do what Ice Cube did when he went into the office to get his money from Interscope Records with that baseball bat. You're not gonna be able to do nothing like that with Rich McKay. And that's the man who hired you. It'd be nice for him to come in there and be pretty much the NWA type of Ice Cube, but it ain't gonna happen. You got to understand, he ain't built like that. So
Arthur Blanks won't allow it. That's what the problem is.
No, the problem is Arthur Blank, and I said it a long time ago. Until you get somebody in here with some attitude, that's one thing. Like, everybody's like, "Oh, well, Louis Riddick didn't get a job." Here's the thing: the reason Louis Riddick does not have a job is because he does not play ball like everybody else does. He's a little bit different, and it's not the fact that he isn't qualified, because he's got the qualifications to be a general manager and to work in the front office. The thing is, he's not going to tap dance like Gregory Hines, like I've said, or say it like John said it last night, tap dance like the Nichols brothers, for those who know who they are. I'm going to tell you like this. Rich McKay, and this is for my music lovers and my historical folks, nobody has played a violin with more dexterity than Yasha Heifetz. And the way that Yasha Heifetz plays the violin is the same way Rich McKay is playing Terry Fontenot to the press and Raheem Morris to the media. And if anybody knows who Yasha Heifetz is, that's what it is. So at that point, I'm just like this. When are we gonna get somebody that's not a yes man in here? When are we not gonna get company men in here? When can we get some union stewards to bust up management? I used the male term for you, John. When we gonna have some of that? Think we need to
Yeah,
let
I
Dan go into the office
see.
with that 2x4.
Yeah, cause man, look, it's going to take that. It's definitely going to take that because, I mean, press conference number 1 and press conference number 2 were the two most laughable moments in the Falcons offseason. The difference between those two. Because press conference number 1, you had Arthur Blank, Rich McKay standing up there.
Yep.
But everybody was asking, where's Terry?
What?
Okay. Everybody
That
asking, where's Terry? All right.
What it was.
And then press conference number 2, it was Greg Beatles, Terry, and your new coaching hire. Now, then everybody was asking, where's Arthur? I mean, see, the thing about this right now, the thing about this is that the year that they had 15 general managers in the damn building, and I know everybody remembers that.
Nightmare
where
fuel.
You had all of these general managers in the building because of the fact that, okay, you didn't like how Dimitrov did, so you bring in what was his name? His former boss as a general manager, and all of these
big
people
forehead.
here, you know, I just don't understand. Now, Ryan, you know Ray Ellison, right? Because he I think he wrote you a special message here. I think he wrote you a special message. He said well, you can read what he said because I ain't in none of that.
Ray, I'm gonna tell you just like this. Understand this. We were around longer than y'all. You can check the history. The only people that's older than us is the National Guard. Just remember that. So if you do decide to cancel the show, I appreciate you for supporting my brother. But y'all Navy SEAL, y'all squids ain't really too bright up here. Somebody got to tell y'all what to do and where to go and actually give y'all some decorum. It's okay. Y'all just ride around. Y'all just ride around trying to do your job. We do ours every day. Shout out to my man Ray though. He definitely once a chief, always a chief. Ray is a chief. I didn't get to that level in my military career, but Ray definitely did his thing. That's just a little banner we got going. Many nights I drink with some Navy sailors and drink their asses up under the table.
Yeah,
lightweights.
Yeah, I know y'all be going at each other, man. I said, hey, man, I never served. I served in the post office, so I know when old postal folk get together, we know what we do to each other.
But you know what, though? A lot of your old postal workers or whatnot are prior military.
Oh yeah.
So you get a little small dose of what they talk trash about and will come out.
And they get mad with me. Hey, they used to get mad with me. Hey, how did you get in here? Man, I took the test, came in. Oh, what? Oh, you ain't supposed to have this job. You ain't supposed to have this job. Look, man, I did what they told me to do, And I just let it go. I just let it go. But thing is, it's boy, it's really frustrating for me. Because, like I said, I've been here ever since, the Falcons have been here. And the Falcons are the only homegrown team in professional sports that we have here. The Braves came from someplace else. The Hawks came from someplace else. And, well, I got to, now that people are counting soccer
club. Yeah,
the Atlanta United. Now, my generation, we will never accept it. I'm sorry. That's just my generation because we used to think that soccer was just something to wear the kids out so they'll go to sleep at night. Just let them run up there chasing that ball, and they'll go to bed.
I'm gonna tell you like this: And I've been to soccer matches outside of this country. The way that we take American football, I'll put it this way. Picture the SEC or any rivalry and times it by 50. And you talking about how
But
people are.
now,
And I mean, when you talk about the atmosphere, John, is God. I mean, it's like literally a holiday when you go to other countries and watch soccer matches. It is a holiday, and it's different. It's real different. And you see what Atlanta United does in the city and how it's always packed. And
right.
you've seen how huge some of these soccer stadiums are in other parts of the country. They're bigger than some of our football stadiums.
Yeah, yeah,
And
and the
people
thing that
get killed and people get killed over those darn soccer
and see,
matches.
that's what I was going to insert in there, because see, man, it was deep. I remember.
They made Raider fans look like monks. You hear me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I definitely heard about that. When
They tell
riots
you be
and
careful
things
who
would
you
take
pull for.
place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
They
when
tell
them
you to be
jokers
careful who
would
you
get
pull
mad
for.
and riot, man, it would just be ridiculous.
When you see cop cars get turned over, stuff get set on fire in the streets, like they gotta have riot police for those darn matches. So
Yeah.
that's why I don't say that. Look, I used to think that, but man, after going and experiencing it, it was fun, but it was dangerous. I tell you that now.
Right. Hey, Ryan, this one of your people. Bruh Amy, what's going on, man?
What's going on, fellas? Just getting off from work, man. What's going on? What was the topic? What I missed? What y'all?
The same thing we have on my show. Everybody crashing out. You're welcome to the party.
What?
Come on
Just
in,
bring
cause
the hot
hey,
beans.
Everybody
Bring the hot
Nah,
beans too.
everybody crashing out right
nah,
now. It's 1 o'clock in the
nah. The
morning.
real quick thing I had want to say, hop on, man. It's just only thing I got to say, man. We got to play more better overall, man. With from game management, the drive class to who are we gonna keep in free agency or who gonna sign. But hopefully this year we just have a bounce back and just don't take any opponents lightly and just take one game at a time. That's all I ask, and just hope
Mhm.
that we have a better season than last season. That's all I ask for Raheem Moore to do, and get you some veteran players on defense, or go young in the draft because I see that we need to get us some edge rushers. That's a must first priority we need to do this all season.
yeah.
and
Well,
and linebackers and another nickel cornerback. Because I don't know who's gonna be able to keep D. Alford and Mike Hughes. I think Mike Hughes will go somewhere else to get his bag. And D. Alford, I know he the home team from Griffintown, small area. They ain't far from Atlanta, but it's a business league, man. I understand we love the players, but it's all about the logo. I'm about the business. So I just feel like we need to revamp this defense and just go younger and trying to nail these drive and trying to get a game changer right now for the team who will start right away. I don't want these quiet boys. I want somebody who gonna play hard nosed
See?
football. And if the coach is not scheming the right way, I want them to speak up and tell the coaching staff like, hey, this is what I want to do. This is how I fit the scheme. So
Hey,
that's all I got to say.
hey, Ray, hold up, Ray. Go back to that year because I'm getting ready to go ahead and put this out. Remember this. We were the lighthouse serving station before we became the aids to navigation and everything else. Your first official lighthouse that was in the United States that was actually aided by lighthousemen, better known as Coast Guardsmen, was 1716, which was literally 50 years before the Navy even was established, my guy. British Navy was around at that time. So 1716, and you can look that up. U.S. Coast Guard, first lighthouse built in America at Little Brewster Island, Boston, Massachusetts. And we had aids to navigation that was started at that place, 1716. But I digress.
oh, hey, I expect for a shot to be fired back.
Come on, man. Look, I know I don't look. I know I don't have I know I don't have the battleship like these Navy guys, but I got plenty of fire. You know, you get
Oh
hit.
yeah, oh yeah.
Hey,
I
John, how
expect
you
I expect for them to shoot back. You know how they are.
doing? Nah, man, I love Ray, man. He good people, man. We just always dig at each other. But I mean, Will is right. when it comes to a lot of stuff. Now, my thing is this: if you're gonna bring in veterans, you need to bring in veterans that are not at the end of their career. You're gonna have to pay guys like a Max Crosby that still has a lot left in the tank, or a Myles Garrett who can affect the pad, that who can affect the pocket. You got to bring guys in. If you're gonna bring vets in, you bring them in that's in their prime. But the problem is when these guys come available, we never have any money to go get them. That's the
Right.
problem. So,
Or we don't want to get them because they attitude and shit like that.
well, here's my thing. I said this here: Max Crosby would fit in perfectly in Atlanta,
Right.
and he got a lot left in the tank, and he's a hell of a pass rusher. Just and I tell people like this: everybody laughed at me when I said it. White Chocolate would be one of the best pass rushers we got in the city, and he got an attitude.
Right. But once again, Atlanta trying to stay away from players like that.
I said, and here's the thing: y'all could go back and look at the draft. K Dub wanted Braylon Trice. I wanted Jared Verse.
Hey, I won the verse too, but
And look at Jared Verse. Jared Verse is one of the best players in the league this year.
Right, but I like both of them.
I think Verse has a little bit more upside. Like we haven't seen Trice yet, so I gotta hold off my judgment. But from what I've seen from Verse is pretty much doing what he did at Florida State.
Right.
Playing the run.
And he got his teammate there too, from Florida State.
Yeah, Brandon Fisk.
Yeah.
Defensive tackle.
So I wanted Jalen Carter. He brings that attitude that we've been missing. But
gentlemen, unfortunately, I'm going to have to cut this short. We are experiencing brownouts over here due to the ice and snow or whatever. And I think this is my third one. So I got to take some measures and and do some things here right quick. But I really, man, I surely hate I have to cut this short, but I definitely got to make some doggone moves over here so that I can get my generator started and all that type of stuff before we freeze to death.
Well, John, y'all go ahead and be safe. All y'all be safe down there in Georgia.
Oh yeah,
all right.
Y'all be safe too, man. You know I'm in Savannah. We getting a little rain, so thank God we're going to the storm. So
don't worry, John.
Hey,
John, don't worry. We're gonna get some of y'all ice tomorrow. They already told us that.
Yeah, they say it's coming y'all way. So y'all take care of that.
We equipped for it, so I'm good.
All
y'all
right.
Be safe down there, fellas. Appreciate y'all having me on.
All right, you all take it easy. We'll talk to you later.